Do you ever feel like your English is too mechanical? Like you've learned the words but not the world they belong to? You can say coffee, but can you describe the feeling of smelling it on a quiet street in the morning? One of the best ways to learn English is through stories. Because stories bring the language to life. Through smell, sound, memory. If you want to walk deeper into real English, leave a comment and subscribe to NativeFluent. It was early morning when Amir stepped out of the small apartment he had rented for the week. The stone buildings of Florence were still in shadow, their windows closed, their walls warm with age. The streets were narrow, quiet, and held the hush of a city not fully awake. His shoes clicked gently on the old pavement as he walked through the alley, hands in his coat pockets. He didn't have a map. He wasn't looking for a museum or a landmark. He was just walking. Then he smelled it. Coffee. Not just any coffee, fresh, hot, rich. The kind that fills your lungs and slows your steps. It came from a small cafe somewhere close, even though he couldn't see it yet. He followed the scent without thinking. A cat crossed his path and disappeared through a gate. A bicycle leaned against a wall. Someone on an upper floor opened a shutter with a soft creak. The smell got stronger. Finally, he turned a corner and found the source. A tiny cafe, barely bigger than a living room. One barista inside. One elderly man standing at the counter, sipping slowly from a tiny porcelain cup. There were no signs. No English menu. No crowd. Just aroma and silence. Amir stepped inside. The barista looked up and nodded. No one rushed. No one asked for a name. The only sound was the low hum of the espresso machine and the gentle clink of cups. Un café? The barista asked. Amir smiled. See. The cup was warm in his hands. The first sip was bitter, then soft, then perfect. He didn't sit. He didn't need to. He just stood by the small counter, watching the city stretch awake outside the window. People began to appear. A woman walking her dog. A man in a suit checking his watch. A child on a scooter still yawning. But inside the cafe, time didn't move quickly. When Amir finished, he placed a few coins on the counter. The barista nodded again as if to say, "You understood." He stepped back into the street. The light had shifted slightly. The buildings now glowed with that soft golden warmth that only Florence seems to have. He continued walking, but slower now. He noticed the small things. A clothesline with a red scarf, the sound of a violin from a nearby window, a woman watering flowers on a balcony. And still the taste of coffee lingered. Not just on his tongue but in his memory. That morning he didn't visit a museum. He didn't take a photo. He didn't post anything online. But he learned something. He learned how cities speak. Not with words but with smells and sounds and the rhythm of quiet places. And he learned how English too can carry that feeling if you let it. Later that day a friend messaged him. "Did you do anything exciting today?" He typed back, "I had coffee on a quiet street in Florence." And that was enough. In today's story you explored rich sensory language like the kind that fills your lungs. The buildings glowed with warmth, and the rhythm of quiet places. You practiced natural verbs, descriptive imagery, and learned how to talk about experiences with subtle emotion. Essential for truly fluent English. At NativeFluent, we help you learn English not just by rules but by feeling. We post daily story-based videos that take you into real language. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and share your own memory. What's your favorite smell in the morning? See you in the next video.